What's up guys, Ryan here from Mudgunner, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about some futuristic guns and the ones that I would consider futuristic in my collection. But first I want to talk about a couple things. We got some exciting news. So first of all, I'm a little sunburned because my girlfriend and I did the Spartan race this weekend. We did the trifecta, so that's the Sprint, Super, Beast. That's a 5K, 10K, 21K, and it was a lot of fun. Got her into her first one, but I've been doing this for years, and yeah, I hope she's addicted now. On top of that, I got a really cool message today on Instagram. Apparently, one of you guys, or a few of you guys, I don't know how it works, I was nominated for the Gundies, which is basically like, the way I read it, it's like the Oscars for gun tubers, which is really cool. I knew about it, but I was not on, like, it wasn't on my radar for me, right? Like, I do my daily YouTube videos, but I never asked to be a part of it, but I'm very happy that someone felt that I was worthy of a nomination. So thank you guys, and I'm still new to it, so I don't know all the information that goes into it, but basically I'm nominated. I looked on their website, it looks like they did 5 nominations per category last year. The category that I was nominated for was Breakout Creator of the Year. So that's like people that worked really hard for the year, or new people with fresh ideas, stuff like that, future industry leaders. And I could really see that for myself. I want to be a part of the gun industry, ideally for the rest of my life. So again, I appreciate you guys a lot. And if you want to help me win that award, because it does require some viewer participation, you're going to be voting from December 1st to December 15th. I think you can vote like multiple times a day. I don't know exactly how it works. Again, this is my first time experiencing this. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But if you guys are wanting to support me and help me win that award, yeah, it's December 1st through the 15th is the voting period. And then if I win it, I get it January 20th in Vegas. So I'm very excited for that. But besides that, we'll talk about guns because that's what you guys are here for. And I was thinking, like, what are some futuristic guns that I have that could fit a variety of different types of futures, right? Because you have the post-apocalyptic futures, or you have the like Star Trek, Star Wars type futures. And I was like, you know, what kind of fits in those categories? So I chose with what I have to work with. There's guns that look way more futuristic that I don't have, but I chose what I have to work with. So on this side, I kind of chose stuff for like Star Wars, RoboCop, Star Trek. I don't know, I haven't watched Star Trek, but like just actual futuristic looking guns. I think one of the most futuristic ones that I own would be the FS2000. It's a very cool gun. And you'll notice in a lot of movies, they tend to use like really bulky, like bullpup looking rifles. So I think the FS2000 really falls into that category. I mean, just looking at it, if you don't know what this is, it's very odd. So it's got a side charging handle on the left here, but when you look at it, it doesn't look like anything's happening, because if this is closed, it's all a sealed system. Like even if you shoot the first couple rounds, brass does not come out of it for the first few shots. It does pop out the front after, I think it's like 5 shots. There's a dust cover right here, and it'll pop open and brass will start just falling out of the front. So I think that's really interesting. So you could basically get a couple shots off and nothing will fall out of the gun. So that's cool. It loads from the back, standard bullpup design. And yeah, when I think of bullpup rifles for futures, I think of like Halo. So we're talking video games too. I think of Halo. I think of Starship Troopers, which I haven't seen since I was a kid. There was like this show on Netflix, it's called Love, Death, Robots. And then one of the episodes, they were using Tavors with these extended rails. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I just tend to see a lot of bullpups in futuristic types of movies, shows, games, whatnot. And I really think the FS2000 specifically falls into that category. It's always been known as the tactical tuna. But yeah, this thing looks futuristic, and I mean, it's been out for decades. They stopped bringing these into the United States, I believe, back in 2013, but it has been around for a long time, and they're very cool to shoot. The other thing I think of when I think of like futuristic guns like those is I think of like, I guess, plasma rifles, beam rifles, whatever you would want to call it. I think it would look something like this, where you're not firing like a standard projectile, it's shooting like a beam of energy, whatever technology that comes down to. If we did that, would that be considered a gun? Probably not. So the ATF would have to come out with a new term like ATF, or like alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and then maybe P for plasma or whatever energy source that would be. But yeah, FS2000, we have the one with the factory built-in scope, and then we have my more tactical model, which I still think looks futuristic. This one's got an Aimpoint Comp M4 and a Streamlight on there, and this is the one that I actually run drills with. Now, the one thing with these futuristic looking guns and like those plasma rifles of movies and shows, they look like they would be a pain to clear a malfunction. I have not had a malfunction on this one. I haven't shot it an insane amount. I've shot a few hundred rounds through this one, but yeah, I picture a malfunction in one of these futuristic looking guns would be really annoying to deal with. Or maybe they're just so futuristic that you don't have malfunctions. So yeah, there's that. And then following with like the futuristic stuff, I had to bring out the Star Wars blaster here. So one sec. This is my Tommy built G36, and this one was specifically done in a Jango Fett theme. I am not like a full-on Star Wars nerd. I watched all the movies. I did not watch all the shows. I watched Mandalorian. It was really good. I liked it, but that's the extent of my Star Wars knowledge. Yeah, this came into the store I work at, and it's really cool. It's a one-of-a-kind Jango Fett G36 clone. It's American-made, and it's cool. It shoots good. I mean, it shoots like a traditional 5.56 platform. As far as like the way Star Wars did it, they didn't really make them really bulky guns. They kind of kept them small. You see a lot of them without stocks. And I also noticed that in like the Gears of War game, like the main gun you use in Gears of War, they don't have a stock. They're just holding it like this. So it's just basically the firearm without a stock. That does seem futuristic in a way, but yeah, the color tone of this one kind of adds to that vibe. And then we also got the 3D printed thermal detonator that comes with this gun, and it's really cool Pelican case. So kind of another one rifle-wise. But yeah, like actual futuristic looking rifles, I think these are the main ones I have. I also have a Tavor that could kind of fall into that category, but the FS2000 fits it a lot more in my opinion. Handgun-wise, this has to be the most futuristic looking handgun I have. This is the Silencer Maxim 9. It's a suppressed pistol, not necessarily integrally suppressed because there's no like holes in the barrel. It's just a barrel with a built-on suppressor. So, I mean, it's one solid unit. You could call it integrally suppressed, but people have called me out on that before. But you have a suppressed pistol and it's all built into one, and it looks like the RoboCop gun. And yeah, this looks very futuristic to me. Is it very practical? Yeah, I mean, it's quiet. I've done videos where, you know, we show it next to a suppressed gun. It is shorter than a suppressed gun, even though it looks so massive. The weird thing is putting a light on here, putting anything else on. I mean, you could put a red dot on here, which is cool. Holsters are gonna be a little tough. I don't have a holster for it, but yeah, this is a very cool gun. It shoots pretty nice. It's got a decent trigger, takes Glock mags, and yeah, this does look like a futuristic gun, and it goes really well with this FS2000 right here. Like, they just go good together. I could see these being a combo in a movie. So I wanted to show you guys those ones. And then I thought of, as far as other futuristic categories goes, I'm thinking like post-apocalyptic or like just us going into the future, right? The reason why I have my Q Honey Badger here is, to me, this looks like a really futuristic AR because prior to Q doing this, I've never seen an AR in this color scheme, specifically the gray rail and whatever you would call this upper lower set. Yeah, it's not like a Cerakote, it's not a finish, it's just the way they treated the metals on this gun. So I think this looks pretty futuristic to me. It's a more realistic futuristic while still firing standard bullets, not, you know, plasma, anything like that. But yeah, I really think this looks like a futuristic AR, and especially with the stock, it's a unique style stock, unique color tone, and as far as recoil impulse, this thing has no recoil. This on full auto would be insane to shoot, and I think it would fit that category pretty well. I love shooting it. I've done tons of shooting videos of this. It's extremely quiet. So yeah, modern futuristic gun, I think this is good. Next up, I was also thinking of, like, you know, in those movies, games, whatnot, you don't have to reload very often. They're very high capacity in a lot of it, or some movies they never have to reload. I figured my AR-57 can fall into that category because you got 50 rounds here. An FN PS90 would also fall into that category too. Yeah, AR-57 specifically in a short barrel configuration would be a better like candidate for that, but I don't have an SBR AR-57. So yeah, I think this really looks the part because it loads from the top, it ejects out the bottom. If we're falling into that, like, I guess plasma rifle, whatever you want to call it, if there's like a more, I guess, nerd way to say it, right? Like how the bullets come out instead of your standard gunpowder propellant type stuff. Yeah, 50 rounds from a 5.7, like full auto in a movie or something, that would be pretty futuristic, especially in a short barrel, it'd be cool. And having no recoil, maybe a laser. Lasers in real world, like, I like using them, but they're not the most practical. They do look cool in movies and games though, and they make it pretty easy because you just mow whatever down. So yeah, there's that. And then the last one I wanted to talk about was, I guess this is where it falls into the post-apocalyptic. So I'm thinking like Mad Max, or I know there's games of it like Fallout. I haven't played those, but yeah, I think this one, the Meridian Defense Apocalypse War, so it kind of fits that vibe anyways. This looks like a post-apocalyptic gun. I was thinking like Mad Max, but they actually kept it really, I guess, traditional, or like how I would think they would go about it. They used like an SKS, a Glock, and even the SKS, it looks doable. I've actually wanted to clone the SKS from the Mad Max movie, and I'm talking about the Tom Hardy one. I haven't seen any of the other ones yet. I need to, but yeah, I think this really fits the vibe. Again, this is a Meridian Defense Apocalypse War. It's got the cool like battle worn Cerakote. It's got like, I guess it's like a greenish gray wood. It's interesting, but it's got a bipod, and again, going into capacity, this mounted on the back of like a Toyota Technical from Mad Max or something like that would be pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think. There's a lot of other cool, like, I guess, futuristic looking guns out there, whether it be like modern futuristic or old school, like, you know, post-apocalyptic futuristic guns, but this is what I came up with. So let me know what you guys think. Again, if you want to support me, I guess, winning that Gundies award, that'd be pretty cool. You can go to thegundies.com. And again, I think the thing opens up on December 1st. I don't know exactly how it's going to go about, but I'll fill you guys in once I know more. So thank you guys, and stay tuned for my next video.